What's up, everybody? A Spear with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Stationeers. When we left off in the last episode, that's new. I knew they said they did updates. I didn't know they added Earth. That's new. Okay. So, well, that kind of, I mean, I was gonna bring up that they did updates. Apparently, that should be apparent now. But in the last episode, we went and built a new room down here, which leads to a mining-like tunnel area, which you can't really see very well. Right down there. There we go. Which I'm gonna try and use as a bit of an underground mining operation, and I think this is going to be the mining room kind of thing. Now, let's see, I'm thinking I might steal this active vent at some point. I'm not sure yet. But one thing I'm thinking about doing is moving the furnaces down here, both the gas furnace and the arc furnace. I think I could put the gas furnace down here. I'm not sure if I'd have a problem getting access to the ports or not, but I could always fix that with chutes, I guess. One thing, if you see me bouncing around a lot, I'm pretty sure they changed some of the movement to where it's not quite so floaty when you're inside. Kind of like, there used to be kind of a wind-up, where if you started walking and then stopped, you'd kind of drift a little bit, and you wouldn't also start walking at full speed. So I'm kind of getting used to that a little bit. I actually really like the third-person camera, by the way. Let's see, that's probably about best if I was going to keep this inside. Let me know what you guys think about it, if it affects the video stuff. I don't know why it's doing stuff like that, though. I'm getting kind of, like, hung up every now and again, or drifting a little still. So I'm not really sure what all that's about. Another thing, I brought up in the last episode that we really didn't have a way to get carbon. CO2. That may not be entirely accurate anymore. Because I believe they said in one of the change logs that if you smelt carbon, that now it gives off CO2, so we have 3 moles. I want to actually test this theory. So I split a little bit of my carbon off, or coal. I keep saying carbon. Coal. I had 50 and I had like 34. So we're going to try this real quick. And see if we're getting any... Oh, it spit it back out. We did get a gas fluctuation, but it just kind of spit it out. That's weird. I thought it said that if you smelted it, that you'd get CO2. Oh, we are getting CO2, actually. There's 4 moles. Now there's 3. Oh, that turned on. Okay. And we only have... Ooh. Interesting. Alright, I'm just going to leave this on for a second. I do think it's actually giving off some gases. Let's see, we're at 3, click the button, then it jumped up to 13, and then it's still pulling it out. So it is actually giving off CO2. The only thing that's weird is it reminds me of the silicon trick, is this isn't actually getting used for anything. I was thinking it meant like when you smelted up an ingot kind of thing. Like if you smelted it, then you got CO2 kind of thing. It seems, though, that it's doing a bit more on the, like I said, kind of like the silicon trick, that if it cycles through, it's giving off some of it. I don't know if it's taking, like, a little bit or not. I'm not too sure about how that's working exactly. But now that's going to vent. I did turn this off, right? Yes. This is what I was talking about with the movement. I'm still getting a little bit where it's like if I'm here and I want to move over, I'm still getting a little pinball action of like getting between the doorway kind of thing. So that's a little weird. We must have gotten enough CO2 because this vent finally turned off. So I guess it is giving off CO2. So that's cool. Alright. But what I'm thinking about, I might actually dismantle that furnace and bring it down here so we can run some tests. But what I'm thinking about is either through use of chutes or something, bringing the furnace down here and then maybe making an enclosed area down here to put the arc furnace, because the gas furnace has a pipe for expending gases that you can use. But the arc furnace doesn't. It just, as we can see, it just gives it off into the air. So what I've seen a lot of people online do is they'll build the arc furnace into a room, and then when they smelt it up, there's a vent that pulls into their filtration system. And I kind of like that idea. So I do need to kind of visit the outside for a second. I might have to actually wait for this to clear, though, to fill back up. Because I need enough air pressure that we can fill this airlock and we can get out. Now, there is also a new advanced airlock controller that allows you to specify the amount of, specify the amount of pressure that you want to fill the airlock with. So, like, we could put that in here and set it to just a little bit, like 30 or 50 or something, and it wouldn't have to fill up all the way, which is a neat idea. There's also a way to use it to set up, kind of like what we have in here with the hydroponics room. You could use it to control a dual system, a dual atmosphere system. So it's like, if you're coming out of this room, then you turn this vent on, it puts it back into that room. If you're coming into this one, you know, that kind of thing, where you're not venting it into the other room type of thing. So that's a really neat idea too. So let me get outside, and I'm going to kind of, actually I'm going to bring this with me, and we're going to test it with the actual gas furnace, but I want to do some planning and see if I can think of what I want to do. So I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, so some of this is not working the way that I expected it to, but it's fine. I'm testing out the coal idea that I had. So we put the coal in this furnace, and I had it set to a loop of just spinning around. And as you can see, this isn't building up anything. I need to turn this off just to double check to make sure, but it's not building up anything. I checked it. So I don't know if the fact that now this will still cycle, if we could use the silicon again or not. But at least with the coal, it doesn't actually work. So yeah, there's that. But I think what I'm gonna do, if I look this over, because I have to make sure that I don't kind of disturb stuff. So I think I'm going to reconfigure this a little bit. But for the most part, it'll just turn into, well, no, because I actually need this pipe to be the connection point here, don't I? Okay. I might want to turn this into a digital valve if I can. Or maybe move the tank? No, I don't really want to move the tank, but I could, I guess. I mean, because basically we had this pipe coming back into the filtration system and this one coming out of the pollutant tank for fuel. So I'll definitely need some type of connection to the pollutant tank. Otherwise, we won't be getting any pollutants. While I'm actually here, let's see. What's my propellant at? So this one's a little... it's fine. We still got plenty. So yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is essentially rerouting this pipe somewhere. I might bring all of this part down to that lower area and just have a fill tank down there, and then we can put the valve at a much closer point to that room over there, like the main valve. Is I think the simplest. It may not be the easiest right now, but it'll be the simplest way of doing it. And then we'll move the furnace, and I've already got some chutes and stuff here, so I'll probably hook up like, maybe like off to the side, have this chute, and then that goes to the input, and then maybe, I don't know how to do the outputs with a chute, like how to plug it into a storage container. I think that's what a stacker is for? Maybe? Not real sure on that one. And I do have the idea if I wanted to... Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it... No, I'm not going to move the tank. Okay, that's fine. I might need to hook up the data, though. Because that doesn't have a cable to it. Okay, that was unexpected. Because what I was actually doing over here was I was running the cable from this area with the filtration system down over here, and it was going to go into the main furnace area. And I was going to tie that in so I could have a digital console read out exactly what's on what's in this tank, so I would know without moving the tank, but I forgot that this isn't hooked up with a data cable yet. So I might need to rewire some of this, or when I remove some of this, wire it up now, and then change it later, maybe. Unfortunately, I also have a bunch of crap in my inventory that I'd forgotten about, so that's fun. Oh yeah, now apparently our filters actually have durability too, which is fun. You know, forgive me for not leaping for joy. Bad back, you know. I'm also going to try and put this pressure regulator somewhere off to the side of the furnace so that I can more easily control what kind of pressure I want for what thing. That's also something that changed. I don't normally show this off, but it is a settings thing. Under audio, you can actually change what audio warnings and stuff you have going on. The jetpack one got really annoying really fast, so I turned that off. And they also changed the jetpack mechanic to where you can actually hover. It doesn't just instantly lower you now, so you have to actually hit control to lower yourself. I think if you turn it off, you will fly up into the air. That was not what I meant to do. But yeah, like that, if you turn it off, you'll kind of float down. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, let me tinker with this a little bit, and I'm going to try and dismantle a lot of this stuff and reroute it over here to the new furnace area. So let me work on that, and I'll see what I can come up with. Okay, so I've been at this for a little bit now, probably about a half hour or so. This is what I've come up with so far. I'm not too sold on this bit yet, but we'll see how that works in a little bit, I suppose. And I think I've got this about fixed up. Now, cabling, I don't know. I think I've allotted room for cabling, but I have absolutely no real idea whether or not it'll actually work. Because I need to have a cable here, and I'm not even sure if that'll work right the way that it is. Actually, let's go ahead and nip that in the butt, because I don't think I need that. So let's go ahead and route it up this way. Do a weird... Actually, now that I'm looking at that, we can actually just bring this back by one, and it should work itself out. Like so. And unfortunately, I haven't actually painted all of this stuff yet, so it's a little bit difficult to understand exactly what's where. And I needed a lot more piping than I actually expected to. Let's go ahead and grab this. And yeah, so I ended up closing off this room a little bit more than I wanted to, but it worked out it's going to work out in the long run anyway. Where's this pipe come down? Right about there. So curve up there and then meet that in the middle. So hopefully I'm making more cabling and more piping, because I haven't actually... See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm getting stuck in weird places like this, where it doesn't really seem like you should be stuck. Like, I can't move, and you have to move a certain way. Like right here, W is not working, D is not working, S isn't working. Like, they just it's just weird to me. Like, they haven't quite fixed or polished up the movement just yet, and I really hope they will at some point, because it's a little aggravating to me. Oh, hey, and what happened to the... There used to be the Energizer thingy, where it was, like, showing it, digitizing it, whatever. I guess they temporarily took that out, or it doesn't work for pipes. One of the two. Alright. Actually, I think I can just bring this straight down at this point. Now, I haven't done myself any favors in terms of cabling, because I haven't actually brought the cable in from outside yet to tie in, though I could bring that in somewhere else. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could run it down, like power-wise, we could actually feed power off of... Where is this connected to? Oh, power was coming in through here. So we could actually run cabling through this wall and power this up and then run it along under here into actually, that might work, because there's a straight pipe there, so I could bring the cable around through there up. Maybe. Did I box myself in here? If I bring it up, that's a straight pipe as well, so I could bring it... Oh, no, actually I could bring it right through here, straight up through there, and then over. That'll work. And then I can bring that here and bring it up. So... Oh, no. I got it. We'll run it along the ground to this third junction, bring it up here, and then tee off, have it wrap around and go to that one, and then have it connect to that one. That'll work. And because I did it this way, because technically this doesn't really need to be adjusted. You just need to turn the valve on. And this is a placeholder. I have the red one outside with the actual tank. And the rest of the pipes will be for connecting up the exterior. So, essentially, let me see if I can show off what I'm thinking here. That one that's not red. There's a red one and there's a yellow one. The yellow one is going to be the output, the venting process. And what I have this doing is the venting is going to be coming from the furnace. So the venting output on the top there. It's hard to see, I know, but I already built this, so I can't really get around all the stuff. Right there. And that's basically going to wrap around and go into this valve. So if we want to vent it, if we want to keep it built up, like, you know, we're using the furnace to do something, then we keep this closed. We can open this and it'll vent up through there into that point right there if you're looking at the crosshair, which will go out to the filtration system and then back to the tanks. The one with the red is coming in from the tank, which, again, I ran out of red paint, or I didn't have any more red pipes. Run it down here. So this is the main valve. This is the tank valve. So nothing will work without it. We'll turn this one on. This pipe system gets filled, but then we can switch these depending on what we want to do. This one will actually control the furnace. So we can turn this on, set the pressure to whatever, turn this valve on, and the furnace will get full. Again, you can see it running along here, runs along the bottom, and then into the input section of the furnace. And then this one's going to be our excess if we want to fill up a jetpack tank. I guess without a digital valve here, I guess I'll have to leave this on just all the time. I don't know how much power they draw, but I don't know. For now, maybe not. I may not leave it on all the time. I'm not sure. And if you're wondering, well, why didn't you have this one down here? It's because of the stupid rule where you have to have a piece of pipe between the valves and pressure regulators and before you put another one there. I really hope they patch it to where you can just stick a pressure regulator right on this one. But the bigger problem was the power outlet. Because if I do the same thing here that I did there, then we can't connect the power on this side because, again, like this, there's something in the way. And I didn't want to go up higher and blah, 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 blah. Although, now that I'm looking at the... No, I can't connect it directly. See, I hate that because I could put the pressure regulator right here. Like, loop it around and put it right here and then put the power on this side. But it has to be one up, so it would have to be up there, and I don't know if that would connect properly. So I think we're just going to leave it, and if you guys have suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, for now, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. How are we doing, guys? We've still got a lot more cable coil to make. I told it to just make a bunch. Actually, how much copper do I have? I'm running a little low, but it's whatever. I mostly only ever use copper for cable coil anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, I suppose. Okay, and let's see if we can get this wired up. It may not look the best right now, but I'd like to at least test and make sure it works before we end this episode. Alrighty, so I set up a wall out here so that I can open this and hopefully not lose any gas, which looks to be the case. And I totally did not set up that correctly. I was experimenting with something and it didn't work in terms of my wiring here. Did not work. Let's see. Can I get a hold of this through here? Can I grab this? Oh, wait, maybe? Oh, I can. Ooh. Ah! Success. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring a straight cable through. That wasn't actually what I meant to do, but it's going to work out a little bit better, in fact. So let's connect this up. I have to admit this wouldn't have taken me nearly as long if I could just get the hang of doing all of the rotation stuff when you're trying to do piping and cabling and everything. So now if we seal this back up, we should be good to go in that regard. Alright, so it should be safe for me to turn this off and open the door. And let the air pressure flood back in. And I'm actually going to leave that wall there because I'm eventually going to do all this in walls anyway, so it really doesn't hurt anything. And as you can see, I'm running the cable around here. So what we're going to do is I am going to bring this around here, if I can get it to cooperate. And then we're going to snap one about here, and then we're just going to do a junction. Ooh, I really hope I made enough. I thought 30 would have been plenty, but cable, I swear, cable is like the golds, or the diamond for me right now, in terms of rarity and value. It's like, I need my cable, man. Okay. Come on. Come on. There's only one other direction you can go. Just do that one. Oy, I hate Space Engineers and Stationeers both. I hate all of their rotational stuff. It just drives me nuts. I can never get it to go where I want it to go. Alright, cool. So, now we shouldn't need the cables anymore. That works, and that works. Awesome. Alright, so we have power there, and we should have power here. Cool. Now, let's repipe everything, because I actually had to break a bajillion of these in order to get what I needed set up. So, I gotta remember how all this works. Okay. So, that should be the main input line. All that's fine, so we have to connect this back up. And these two have to be connected up. So let's do that. Okay. Hello. Thank you. And I thought there was a way. Left control. Ah, left control to enable auto place mode. That's what it was. Ah ha ha ha. It's very useful, and I'm glad they added that. Because oh man, this would have gone so much faster had I remembered that. I thought they added that in the new patch, but I really couldn't remember how to use it. Is this right? Yes! Awesome. Alright, so with that we have an input for the gases. Now the only thing that's left for me to do is I have to go outside. The exhaust pipe should be set up fine, but the input pipe I ran out of, so I'm going to use the rest of these to connect the input pipe up from the tank. Now, like I said, at some point I'd like to run the cabling, and maybe what I'll do is bring it in somewhere like here and run it along this edge, and maybe put... Because I really need data. Power-wise, I've got a power cable running through here already, but I really need the data cable from the tank. I tell you what. Ooh. Every once in a while, like I said, I keep getting these weird little movement jitter things where it doesn't quite line up. Do I have another screen or a console anywhere? I'd really like to just test it. I don't really need to hook it all up. I kind of just wanted to test it. No. Oh, I actually have more... Oh, that's heavy coil. Meh. Alright, so I guess I don't have a... Ooh, we could test this. Let's actually... Sure. Let's actually test this real quick. Oh, I don't have the loop set up anymore. Boo. Well, we could still actually test this out, though. So if we dump this in here, we should end up... Yep, we've got silicon in there. Nothing in the chamber. Now, if we do this, it does spit it out there. Alright, cool. That's what I wanted to happen. So that's our little output point. I could move it over... Maybe put it like here, but meh, whatever. The important thing to note is we didn't get any pressure from that, so it looks like that. Looks like that is a bit done. Now, one thing I don't know is I know there's a reagent thing or something where you can somehow get stuff back. I don't know if you could take like this smelted silicon and kind of like turn it back into ore and then run it through again, because I was thinking you could use the arc furnace, smelt it, you get the gases, and then basically undo that and then put the ore back in. I'm not really sure. And I'm not really sure that the looping thing with the coal is supposed to be a thing either, but it's whatever. So now, actually this part is pretty much done. So, oh, I have my panels. Cool. No, not the wrench. Put that there. Put that there. Actually, is this an iron wall? It is. Alright, let's just go ahead and throw one down there. And then, let's go ahead and seal this kind of up, see what it looks like. Oh! Oh, okay, this is backwards. Whoops, I don't know how that happened. Oh wait, yes I do. Alright. It's probably because I put these on the... on this edge. And not this one. I needed them to be inside like this. There we go. Alright, so now if we panel that up... Oh, it covers the pipes! Awesome! I really didn't think it was going to do that. Cool. Awesome. Alright, so it does cover up the pipes. Now I just gotta remember which one is which. This is what I was talking about, where if I just leave this on all the time, this should all work fine, because the valve will keep it from going in there. And then we'll turn this on when we need to smelt something, and we'll open the valve, we'll open the tank, let it build up, throw our stuff in there, and then when we're done with smelting for whatever, then we can turn this valve on and it'll vent it. So yeah, I think this will work out pretty darn well. I just need to put a wall there to seal that up, but I want to make sure all this works right. Yeah, so let me, give me just a minute. I'm going to finish off the outside, and then we might give it a dry run. Alrighty, so as you can see, I brought in the tank from outside, along with its red propulsion. You know what? Why is this not red? I just realized that. Why is... Did I run out of red paint? Is that what happened? I've still got 5%. Yes. I don't know why I didn't paint this tank. Can I not paint the tank? Maybe that's why I didn't paint it in the first place. No, you can paint it. There. Boom. Why was that not painted? Whatever. So, yeah, I'd like to actually just mess with this for a second. So, we've got this hooked up. So, where's my... There's my tablet. So let's give this a go. We're going to flip this on. And that means this one should have, it's got some pressure going on in it. That's good. Now if we turn this on, and we flip this valve, we're looking at the room, but if I look at the pipe, yeah, so we're getting pressure there, and it is at 200 kPa, which is what it's set for. Awesome. Which means that the furnace should be in also at 200 kPa. Awesome. Now, let's go ahead. What's the order here? Turn this off, and then turn that off, and it should allow that to bleed through, if I can get back here enough to where I can see. No, it's still got some pressure in it. If I turn that back on, will that pull it all through? Because I'm trying to make sure I empty these entirely, kind of thing. 1.6 MPa. Oh, that's a lot of pressure in there. Huh. Why is that not... Interesting. Alright, well, let's see what happens if I turn this on. This should vent this, which it's doing. Now, is this going down at all? Oh, yep, there it goes. Okay, so it needed something pulling it through to bleed it down. Alright, cool. Now that still has pressure in it, which is unfortunate. Oh, I know. Let's turn that off and turn that back on. That should bleed it through. Yeah, there we go. So now we're not getting anything out of here, though that still has some pressure left in it. I don't really think there's anything I can do about that, but at least this will get rid of that. There's nothing in here. This is being pulled through. Perfect. Alright, so that works basically how I wanted it to work. So now, whenever we need to do something, we can basically just turn this valve on, turn this valve on, set our pressure regulator to whatever we want it to be, and then we can kind of let all that bleed through and build up, and so that should keep everything where we want it. I don't know why this isn't going a little bit lower, because it should be, unless there's just no volume pump that's making it get rid of the rest of it, but it works. And then if we wanted to, we could cycle this over, turn this on, and fill up the tank if we want extra. Now, I did run the cabling to where the cable's going to come out about here, and I'm planning on running it either along this wall or something, and maybe out here and then down this way or somewhere wherever I can find a spot. But I'm thinking I'll put an LCD screen somewhere that shows us the volume tank, or not volume tank, but the pressure amount that's in the tank outside, and that way we know if we need more gas or not to make everything work. So yeah, I think that's the first step. Now the only thing will be, this is the bleed through line. So I may connect a T-junction pipe that goes straight through here, and then maybe put an active vent over here, and then just close this off and make this the, we can use this power cable to connect up the, whatchamacallit, arc furnace. I think they'll probably work on that next episode, and the LCD screen here, and then we'll have a closed room for the arc furnace to vent into the filtration system. And we'll also have a readout for how much gas we have in our pollutant tank. And I think that'll be a step in the right direction. And then maybe after that's all said and done, what I may do is move some stuff around up here. Maybe like these guys. I might move them out of the way. And I might end up doing some LCD screens here that show us all of our gas readouts. I think that would be a good idea moving forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. And I will see you all next time. Peace.